One of the biggest things that usually scares off newer MapleStory players is knowing how to level up the quickest, either for their first characters, or for getting a bunch of link skills and legion levels and blocks. So for this video, I'm making 2 characters on a brand new, completely clean slate account to show people ways to make leveling up a bit less painful. The first character is a Hoyoung without anything whatsoever. No links, no legion, no passives like Blessing of the Fairy or Empress's Blessing. I did, however, use some 2x XP coupons to speed up leveling past 140. To fit the occasion, I named them No Lee No Lay, short for No Links No Legion. The second character is a burning character with nothing held back. There's still no legion because it's a brand new account, but I did use the 1 link skill from my Hoyoung, along with the Blessing of the Fairy passive. I honestly thought they were still from Explorers, and all the benefits of a burning character. So every 1 level you get 2 extra levels, so you get 3 levels every level up, a bunch of frozen gear, a bunch of other goodies like a title, temporary Fafnir set, all kinds of stuff. I asked around various friends and discords, like for my guilds, which character has the hardest time leveling from 1 to 200, and the general consensus was either Battle Mage or Mechanic. Ultimately, I chose Mechanic because of their more limited movement, and me remembering how they struggle with their missiles past a certain point. This character is aptly named Worst Burn. Also, one tip of advice I have is to go into this guide with a Hyper Teleport Rock. In Reboot, you can get these with Mesos from the cash shop, and in regular servers, you can get these with reward points. In both Reg and Reboot, you can also get these through event shops for a few coins. Back to leveling, starting with Hoyoung. To start off, we have the intro questline just about every class has nowadays, where you're forced to sit through a bunch of cutscenes in the starting area until you're able to leave and explore on your own, usually around level 30. Some classes are locked in this starting area until they do all their class quests, and others are free to go wherever they want. If you have the freedom to explore, my recommendation would either be the lower level maps around Edelstein, like Streetlights and Patrol Robot S, or Golems in Hennesis and Cold, Cursed, Evil, Surgeon Eyes in Alinea until level 30. Otherwise, if you're locked in, just continue the quests until you're free to go. Once your second job, the quickest way to third job at level 60 would just be doing the theme dungeons. These can be accessed by the light bulb on the left-hand side of the screen. There's currently 3 to choose from: Rihanna Strait, L&L Fairy Academy, and Gold Beach. The order you do these in doesn't matter too much, honestly. It's mostly preference on which you like more. Doing all 3 will either get you right to 60 for third job, or pretty close. If you're a little ways off, grind out the various maps in the theme dungeons, since the monsters in those maps sync to your level up to level 60, or just grind on Drakes in Sleepywood. The real grind starts here at third job. From here on out, you'll start to encounter burning fields, which give 10% extra experience per burning stage, up to stage 10, and runes, which give twice the XP for all kills for the next 3 minutes, plus the extra effect whichever rune you popped gives. If you have Evan's Link skill, the bonus XP effect can last nearly twice as long at max level. This bonus rune XP also stacks with any XP coupons you're using too. With all that being said, once you do your third job advancement, the best places to train afterwards would be various maps around Sleepywood like Drake's, or Orbis maps like Cloud Parks 1 through 6. All these maps are good up through 75 to 80. Around level 75, you can now go get the Maple Alliance passive for a bit of permanent extra stats. Now, you could move onto either Ice Valley 2 in Elnath, any areas around your level in Vern Mine in Edelstein, or Desert Hares and Cactuses in Ariant. From here, you can move up into maps in these areas around your level, up to 85 for Vern Mine and up to 90 for Ariant. If you're still in Elnath, you'll have to move elsewhere, cause from Dead Mine onwards, monsters range from 30 to 40 levels higher than you. You don't want to go walking from the wolves up to like a 119 Yeti. Around 90 to 100, you can grind out just about any of the maps in Megatia, just about anywhere in Halicium in Grandis, or some of the earlier maps in Leifer. Once that's all done, it's on to fourth job advancement. Here, the best quick bump of levels once you do advance would be waiting for your 15-minute rune cooldown to go away. getting a new rune, pop an XP coupon if you wanted even more experience, create a party, and head straight to normal Zakum. Killing his arms gives a ton of experience around this level, and it gives you time to try out your new 4th job skills. Watch your health and avoid the red spots on the ground, and you should get a good handful of levels. I think about 6 with just the rune, and like 15 or more with a burning character on 2x experience. You can also potentially get a pretty good face and eye accessory as a drop too. The aquatic letter eye and the Zakum power crystal. Now around 100 to 115, 120-ish, you could stick to Leafer and grind around matching the mobs to around your level up to 140 or so. But my preferred options would be Robos in Ludibrium, Ludi for short, or a bunch of different maps in Tyrant's Castle in Helisium in Grandis. I'm a personal big fan of 3rd floor hallway around 110-ish because it's just a big flat map with a good spawn and typically high burning. This place is chock full of good training maps though. Around 115 or so, you can move on to either Clock Tower bottom floor and do the Papaladas questline, or just grind if you have enough Star Force, or Fantasy Theme World until around 130-ish. These maps are huge and have high burning with really good spawn. From 130 to 140, one option is the various maps around Mulong that have fairly comfortable layouts, like the target dummies. But my personal choice is Korean Folktowns maps that have the wanted posters in them. They just require grinding in those maps for a little bit, and give a nice chunk of experience each. And some mesos. These alone won't get you to 140, but most of the maps here have high burning. The Moon Bunnies map being a glaring exception, since most people tend to stick with this one map for some reason up to level 140, which is a good segue into this little tip of advice. One thing that's always irked me about MapleStory is people not knowing where or how to train, so they just Google an up-to-date leveling guide and stick with those maps while ignoring all the other maps in the game. It's not like these other maps in most cases are even all that bad. They've just been forgotten about in favor of whatever the guides say. These maps tend to be pretty all-around good for most classes, but there's a lot more options that are just as good, and in some classes' cases, way better than whatever run-of-the-mill maps YouTube or Google usually gives people for an answer. Don't be afraid to try other nearby maps for a pretty decent chance of higher burning stage, or better layouts and way less people crowding and or fighting in every channel. Back on track. Around 140 up to 160 or so is when you get questlines that give good XP and lead into pretty good training maps. Kerning Tower, Temple of Time, Stone Colossus, Caridius, Omega Sector, and Future Genesis / Future Irv. This is where I'd say is the biggest dry spell of grinding in MapleStory, as it gets really slow and not too exciting once you get those questlines done. That, and it's just pure grinding from here on out. The areas I just mentioned are pretty much the best places to grind up to 190, with the inclusion of Dingy Brawlin' Bash Club in Savage Terminal in Grandis. Also the polluted sewer maps nearby in the same area. It's also worth doing Monster Park daily for the quick easy coins and experience. Even if you're just doing the 2 free daily entries, doing them on Sundays gives 2x experience coupons from the Monster Park boxes too. From 190 to 200, there's 2 main options. The first being Twilight Perion, more specifically the one map people usually choose to go to being Forsaken Excavation Site 2. This is a good flat compact map layout with good spawn density, but the fact that so many people go here means you usually won't find one with high burning to speed up training. My personal favorite training spot 190 to 200 is Fox Valley in Volpes in Grandis. The map layouts range from okay to not so great, but the burning is really high and there's way less people here. And now for my last leveling trick. Once you hit 99, stop grinding. Open up your light bulb and do the quest Haven, a New Home. If you follow this short quest line that takes about a minute or 2, it's mostly cutscenes, then you have to kill like 4 robots. You'll gain an entire level and just be right up to 200. It just gives a full level. It's much faster than grinding for that last bit of XP. And you're done. Past here, it's up to you to grind out in specific zones in Arcane River Onward. This guide only goes up to 200 mainly for Legion purposes, as you unlock the double S block at this level. The next tier down from that is the single S at 140. In GMS, some link skills can go up to rank 3 at level 210, which you can reach by just grinding out Vanishing Journey dailies after reaching 5th job and doing that questline. Just level up your Arcane symbol and your Arcane Force hyperstat, and you should be good to go for all the VJ areas. Results of how long it takes will vary for everyone, but for my new account Ho-Young without any bonuses outside of a few 2x XP coupons around 140 Onward, it took me roughly about 23 hours over the course of about 4 days on and off to reach level 200. I wanted to compare how long it would take on a burning character for both fun and educational purposes, and it took a total of about 7 hours over the course of less than a day. Almost exactly 1/3 of the time it took for my Ho-Young, which makes sense given you get 3 levels for every 1 level. They have burning character events fairly often, so I'd suggest doing them whenever they come around. Also getting Zero and Beast Tamer whenever they're available twice a year. They just came back, so that's good timing. Overall, it's not too hard to get characters up in levels for level 2 links, which is at 120, or level 140 Legion blocks, which is the stopping point I'd suggest for just about everyone until they level up their legions a bit more. Especially with all the growth potions, aka bonk pots that they give us every so often, either through events or daily gifts. Oh, on that note, every month in the daily gift, we get a character burninator up to level 150 on whichever character we want to use it on. That helps make Legion a bit easier too. If you're a new Maple player or just returning to the game and feeling a little lost, I hope this video was useful for you in any way. I tried condensing it down as best I could while also trying to keep it informative. I wanted to do a Ho-Young Made Easy guide in here too near the end, but I decided against it to keep it down to just one topic and not confuse people further. If you want character specific guides in the future, let me know. I'd be up for making them for literally any class. I just want to show peeps how to level up as painless as possible. That's all.